Hello people, we are talking again about these stickers. So, after talking about Mine Goblin in the video deck tech recorded with Paolo Don Francesco, Walker 735 on Magical Line, we are now talking about Finishing Move, which is a fight effect of sorta, at least. Yeah, it's more similar to roam through, which just deal damage to a target creature your opponent control. And it's also a sticker card, and well, it does a lot of fascinating things in this deck, alongside with Kudron Familiar. So this deck is pretty sweet, can be played also on Magical Line with some good results, at least in leagues. I got a perfect 5-0 trophy in the other video recorded in Italian, and also decent result in this one. So we should take a look at the cards that this deck is currently playing, and also at the stickers you can sticker on your Codron Familiar, or also on your other permanents, because you aren't forced to sticker only on the creature you target when you play Finishing Move, because you still require two targets, your own creature and your opponent creatures. But if the card still has only one single target when it resolves, you can sticker whatever permanent, non-land permanent you control. Just to say, you can put a sticker on your makeshift munitions, on your Lambas or Golden Egg, etc. You can also sticker your permanent, so that's pretty important regarding certain stickers, I guess. Anyway, let's take a look at the stickers. So where's my deck list? There we go. Okay, so for this deck list, I copied Alberto Rascio stickers deck from Radio Atug, which is a tournament held in last September in Italy. And the deck list was pretty similar, but I changed something according to how I feel that the deck could be improved. But I didn't change anything regarding the stickers, mostly because stickers aren't illegal on Magical Line, or either aren't present yet on Magical Line, because, you know, stickers are very complicated when it comes to trying to program them on Magical Line. So we have lifelink and some certain of toughness and power, but well, we can say that usually you prefer to sticker your 2-cost ability, but sometimes you also like to sticker the power and toughness. Well, maybe you also wonder how the stickers work in reality, because those are I think really complicated and are only playable on paper, so it's not something like you can play on Magical Line and understand how they work while playing them. So basically, those stickers are abilities or power and toughness, and when you sticker on a permanent, you basically give permanently those abilities or power and toughness, unless the card leave the battlefield to go to an unknown zone, like the library or your hand. So if the Children Familiar go to the graveyard after getting stickered, the Children Familiar still keep those abilities. And that is important because certain abilities works when the creature will leave the battlefield, just to say. So lifelink could be very great against aggressive strategies, and that touch is quite strong with a run through effect. But then we also have Giant Mana Cake, giving an ability that basically creates 2 food tokens when the cat dies. So yeah, you know, Codron Familiar works pretty well with the food tokens, or rather, it works only with the food tokens. So if you have a makeshift munitions on the battlefield, just to say, when your cat got sacrificed, deal 1 damage, you generated 2 food tokens. So you can bring back the cat and then sacrifice it again and generate a lot of food tokens. So basically, you can just win on the spot if you have enough mana, and that's pretty cool for a slow beat range deck, because yeah, you have Basilisk Gate, you also have Guardian of the Guild Pact, so you can kill your opponent more or less just in time, but it's also a nice addition because it can overcome or can just overcome difficult situation, or just give you a free win sometimes, which is also good when it comes to Magic. Sticky Camp Daredevil bounce a creature to its overhand when the permanent dies, so sacrifice your Lambas and shuffle it in your deck so the sticker got detached from the card, and you bounce your opponent to Lion Terror. Okay, another decent ability. And then we have to draw this card. When this permanent dies, return target non-creature, non-land card from your graveyard to your hand. And yeah, I love looping stuff. And with an unassuming Gelatinous Serpent, you can, when you sacrifice your Codron Familiar, return finishing move on your end. So that's another cool interaction for sure. We have cool Fluffy Lockstone. When this permanent leaves the battlefield, draw a card. Elemental Time Flamingo, exile this permanent. You may cast target non-land card from your graveyard this turn. So recursion, which is which you can use only 1 time per game, unless you target a food token or a treasure token, because you know when you sticker a token permanent and the permanent leaves the battlefield, the sticker goes back to the sticker sheet, compared to the other permanent who keep the sticker unless they go to the library or in your end, of course. The reason for why the token loses this sticker is pretty simple. When any kind of token leaves the battlefield, it doesn't exist anymore. So for that reason, it can't keep the sticker because it doesn't exist. Yakmot Merfolk Soul. When this permanent leaves the battlefield, the target player discard a card. So just a way to remove all form of interaction or resources from your opponent's hand. And finally, sacrifice this permanent, draw 2 cards. So another pretty cool card, since you can get something like 3 cards from each of your food token. Yeah, because your cat, you can sacrifice it to draw 2 cards, then you reanimate it by sacrificing Lambas, and that Lambas already draw you 1 card, so yeah, 2 mana, draw 3 cards. Easy. And finally, we take a also look at the deck list, and also we'll go take a look at the deck list we are playing on Magic Online. Since there are certain differences, because on Magic Online you can't play finishing move, and I've basically added more copies of certain cards like Gingerbread, Guardian of the Guild Pact, and Golden Egg. So instead of having a catch-all removal spell that can give you more consistency or flexibility, I just added more more consistency to the deck by adding more copies of finishers like Guardian of the Guildpact and Gingerbread and Golden Egg, because since you can't go infinite with Cauldron Familiar, at least I have another card that it is good with Deadly Dispute and Recognize Regain, and because I didn't really want to play another Removal spell or another Crypt Rats. So, we shall talk about this deck and why we're playing black over colors like white or blue. Well, because instead of having Brainstorm plus Squadron Oak as a card advantage engine, we have Deadly Dispute, and we also have Cauldron Familiar as a way to interact better against decks very heavy on removal spells, because you know you can you basically have something like 8 food, which are extra copies of Cauldron Familiar that play around well against removal spells, more or less. We can also say that Food Gates has been born since I guess last year as a way to counter Turbo Initiative decks, but since the deck is cool and can play stickers, I wanted to try it again and bring you a decent Pauper gameplay video. Then we have Ichor Drinker as an alternative to Sacred Cat, which isn't really great as a card by itself, but since it costs black, compared to Sacred Cat is better, because you aren't required to play a 3-color deck, you are just a 2-color deck splashing for Guardian and Makeshift Munitions. Is of course worse compared to Sacred Cat, because the token that you can generate by exiling the Ichor Drinker from your graveyard doesn't have lifelink, but somewhat is better against terror decks if you consider that Ichor Drinker is black and so play around Snuff Out. We have Makeshift Munitions mostly as a way to have a decent finisher against removal decks, and also especially when you're playing Paper as a way to sacrifice Cauldron Familiar more freely. We have Gate Creeper Vines, similarly to 4-color gates or Negates, as a way to fetch Basilisk Gate as fast as possible, and then we have some removal spells in form of Cast Down, Disfigure, and Corporat. Alberto Rascio Decklist was playing Suffocating Fumes and Chinar's Edict originally, but I deemed those removal spells kind of weak, especially Chinar's Edict requires matchups very specific. I mean, again, it's good against Terror, it's good against Buggles, but excluding those matchups, it doesn't really do much, in my opinion. So this figure is better because it can interact very much better against fast decks like on Red Goblins, just to say. And we also have Corporats, because Corporats is strong with Basilisk Gate. You can pump your Corporats and then Brat and keep the Corporats on the battlefield. And of course, Corporats is also good by itself. Just to say, you can give it that touch with finishing move and deal a lot of damage, destroy a lot of creatures. You can also give it lifelink if necessary, if you have it. So, in my opinion, Corporats is just better compared to Suffocating Fumes as a master removal, and it can deal more efficiently against green-based deck like Wolves or against Azorius Affinity. Then in sideboard, I'm playing certain weird cards for sure, because, well, there's Generous Edict, as I already said, is probably the best answer we can play against Terror and Auras, every version of Auras. So on White Heroic and Selesnya Buggles. Then we have Drawing Sorrow, because I don't really want to play for more copies of Kerprats, and Drawing Sorrow is faster compared to Kerprats. Dimir and Troublemaker Ufi, as a way to have more answers to all that glitters and affinity creatures. Actually, I found the Troublemaker Ufi much better compared to Diglimmer, but you are required to sacrifice an artifact, an enchantment, or a token when you cast Troublemaker Ufi if you want to exile an artifact or enchantment. So the Glimmer is kind of better if your opponent doesn't have any negate, while Troublemaker Ufi is better only if you have a token or an artifact on the battlefield already, and if your opponent has a negate in edge or a turn aside. Then we have Fangor Marauder over Weathered Storm, because in my opinion Fangor Marauder is better against burn-based deck, at least if you have enough artifacts. And in this deck we have Deadly Dispute, Golden Egg, Lambas, Treasure Tokens, eventually Gingerbroods, so in my opinion it's good. The card can be pretty strong and can win by itself a lot of game against aggressive decks. In my opinion, it is worth at least 2 sideboard slots, and I'm still trying it. Not sure if it is better compared to Weather Storm, but Weather Storm by itself requires a lot of spells, while Fangor Marauder is just I try to have enough artifacts on the battlefield when I play it on turn 5 or turn 6 and then crack some artifacts. So compared to Weather, maybe it can be easier, or it can get lives in an easier way. So, and finally, Nihil Spellbomb. I'm still not sure about Nihil Spellbomb, but basically, compared to the original decklist, I didn't change much, and I kept those Nihil Spellbomb in my sideboard because I'm still not sure what I need to play in my sideboard or what I want to play. So for that reason, I didn't change much. Let's take a look at the Magic Online decklist, just to know what I will be playing for this league. Okay, so basically this I didn't change much, just 3 cards. So sideboard is the same, main deck, an extra copy of Guardian of the Gale Pact, 1 extra copy of Gingerbread, and finally 1 extra copy of Golden Egg. We can say that those 3 slots are just a way to have a better matchup against decks mostly played on Magic Online, like Terror, or well, I'm not sure. I mean, the card Finishing Move doesn't exist on Magic Online, and you can't really have something similar. You can just try to add more interaction or more powerful stuff, or cards that you may think that can give more consistency to your deck. So it's really sad that you can't play what you want on Magic Online because the card doesn't exist. But you know, when you can't do much about it, complaining about it doesn't do much. So I tried this deck list on Magic Online, while in paper I'll try the deck list with Finishing Move, and in my opinion is still better on tabletop to play with Finishing Move compared to not playing the card and playing instead of the Magic Online version. Finishing Move just gives too much advantage compared to, an example, Golden Egg or another copy of Gingerbread. So a removal spell that can occasionally win your game or provide you with a Relic of Progenitus, because we also have a sticker that can give the ability tap exile target card from a graveyard, and that's great. I mean, against the graveyard deck can win by itself. So feel free to try both versions and eventually let me know whatever version you prefer and if these stickers are great or a fun card when it comes to play them on paper. So and let's enjoy this league. Alright, so we are starting first. We are against bepperosario. And yeah, there's Basilisk Gate in form of Gate Creeper Vine, and also you have the Eco Drinker. So that's a keep. Basically, every starting end we want should be have Eco Drinker plus Basilisk Gate or some sort of interaction. Eco Drinker, of course, is the best. Is the best target for Basilisk Gate if we are facing a deck trying to aggro, and kill me as fast as possible. Well, I suppose we can just play the EP Gate and pass, and play cast down on the Goblin Blast Runner. The reason for that is since Goblin Blast Runner can get minis with its ability, it's better to kill the Goblin Blast Runner instead of trying to chain block with Gate Creeper Vine. So opponent is not doing anything relevant beside playing double Blast Runner while having also the Goblin Blast Runner profile image. So we found another Basilisk Gate. I wonder if I should play Bot Drinker and the Gatekeeper Vine so I can get back some life next turn, or just play the Gatekeeper Vine to force my opponent to bolt my Gatekeeper Vine first. Yeah, probably it's better to force the opponent Lightning Bolt on the Gatekeeper Vine instead of Eco Drinker. We are still have plenty of life, so that's not a problem. And we can also get a Basilisk Gate since it's probably more worth to have another copy of Basilisk Gate compared to having another colored tapped source because we have already cards like Gate, Goblin's Letter, so that's probably Goblin and not. Maybe it's Goblin and not a classic Kuldata build, and that would be much better for us since they probably have a lesser amount of removal spells, so we can try to stick a Nicker Drinker. We already have enough copies of Basilisk Gate, maybe. Not really sure. Well, anyway, I think that it's still better to have an untapped Basilisk Gate right now, because I want to have as many gates possible. I also want to have enough copies of Basilisk Gate to kill my opponent. So probably the opponent misclicked right into the combat phase. They play another Reckless Impulse and go for land and Elder Epicure. Let's check if they have a Lightning Bolt or Lava Dart to kill my Eco Drinker. Okay, that's cool. The most troublesome thing here is that they can block and sacrifice, so I don't get back any life. But it's probably worth to play my Basilisk Gate, pump the Eco Drinker, and then force them to sacrifice one of their creatures. How much mana I have, because I want to play Codron Familiar and Olympus. Yeah. Probably should play the Swamp instead of the... Oh, that doesn't matter. Yeah. I don't have enough mana to play bot Libessa Control Familiar, so maybe it's better to play the Golgari Rod Farm. No, it's still better to play the Basilisk Gate, because it's another gate. So, we get back some life. And then we choose between playing the Lambas or Codron Familiar. So that's a free time block for my opponent if they want to sacrifice their Murk Rider to get back some life. I guess they will do that to prevent me from getting back some life. But that is fine, I guess, because we're basically killing one of their threats. And then my opinion is good to play Lambas here. So we can dig for our copy of corporates or whatever stuff necessary to kill their Goblin's ladder or whatever. And we put on the bottom one bounce land. I draw another gate, which is real annoying. Okay, they have a bunch wall of new goblins. So they go for kill that birth. Play Epicure. Okay, they're attacking with everything. I guess it's more worth to double block their 1/1 creatures instead of double blocking the Golden Vastriner, because they can just sacrifice one token to kill both my plants, and it isn't really worth it. Alright, we found the cast down, so we kill the Goblin's ladder first. After killing it, we can easily play Swamp to cast Codron Familiar, get back one extra life, or we can play the Black Dragon Gate to get... Anyway, it's not... doesn't change much, because... Or rather, it's probably better to play the Codron Familiar, because we can block with Codron Familiar. Alright, getting back 6 lives, and play the Kitty to get back another life, and Chan block to eventually gain more than 1 life, since we can block and prevent more damage that way. 2 mana, Bushwalker, as expected, guess. So the Pala land, double Bushwalker, sure. Well, I guess we jump block some stuff. It doesn't have many aces, so we can probably block with the Gatekeeper Vine. It is better to keep the Gatekeeper Vine alive? Probably, yeah. Oh wait, all their creatures are Prey 1. So we are still, anyway, we gotta lose all the creatures, blocking, and not sure if I'm able to survive. Wow. Right. So let's check it out if I'm able to kill my opponent. It's probably better to first reanimate the Codron Familiar, because we go for Black Dragon Gate next turn. Then we have 2, 5, 6 mana, so we double power up the Eco Drinker. So that's oh, that's not really relevant to do reanimate the Codron Familiar, I guess. We probably are still lethal. Yeah, we name white for the Guardian of the Guildpath, but it's probably not necessary. We're already lethal with the Eco Drinker. And that's it. Easy peasy. Alright, so against goblins, both Disfigure and Cast Down, in my opinion, are necessary. I think we can bring in the Draw in Sorrow, because Master Ravals are, of course, great against this kind of opponent. I'm not sure about Ginger Brute. I don't really like it, but it can get back some lives. We can eventually bring in the Hunger Marauder, since we don't have a Weather the Storm, but if we are able to land a Hunger Marauder, it will become much better than Weather in this kind of matchups. Of course, Ichor Drinker is the most powerful card. Not sure if I want all my copies of Reckoner's Bargain and also my Gingerbread, because usually Gingerbread is better against slower matchups where we can try to stick more extra damage in early game thanks to the unblockable ability, and also because we can pass through the opponent jump blockers. So maybe you can cut all the Gingerbread and add in my Fire Marauder. Maybe we should bring in the Troublemaker Ophi, because we can exile the Synthetizer, and it's an early game jump blocker. Yep, it's not really great as a jump blocker compared to, an example, Guardian of the Guildpath, but it costs 2 less mana, so probably still better. Anyway, we can try to exile one land or one blood token, and anyway, it's a one-off, so it probably doesn't matter much. Alright, so okay, I think that we should try to keep this end, even though we only have one land. The reason for that is we have this figure and corporates, and if we find another land, we can just play the Gatekeeper Vine, and well, when we have 3 lands on the battlefield, it's pretty easy to deal with my opponent with cards like Corporates or Drawing Sorrow. Alright, I guess we kill the Goblin Blast Runner. Or at least we find no lands on the top deck, of course. Okay, maybe there's no reason to play the Eco Drinker, but we can jump block the Goblin token. Ah, no, wait. Since the War Marshal has Eco, if they don't pay the 2 mana cost Eco, the creature gets sacrificed, so the Blast Runner gets menace. So jump blocking here is worse compared to playing this figure and Goblin Blast Runner, and the reason for that is of course because we get more damage compared to the jump block. Other War Marshal, alright. No lands, and we can concede, yeah. The keep was of course we didn't get any change to play, and so we lose. Yeah, I could try to play again, but you know, without lands you can't really do anything. Yeah, and yet we have another land, and now we have a Gatekeeper Vine, a bunch of Deadly Disputes, and only this figure. So we keep this end and get rid of the Reckoner's Bargain because it doesn't generate an artifact, so it's much worse compared to the Dispute, since we prefer the mana compared to the only Mizzle 2 lives. 2 lives is not much. Okay, so unless they wanna bolt my Gatekeeper Vine, it's always better here to play Gatekeeper Vine and get a Basilisk Gate. Yes, there's no reason to pick the Hippie Gate. Why are you bolting my Gatekeeper Vine? Okay, because they wanna pass over it. Well, Hippie Gate was better compared than Basilisk Gate, only the slight change that my opponent wanted to kill my Gatekeeper Vine, but I really wasn't expecting a lightning bolt on my Gatekeeper Vine. I mean, why? You really truly have better target for your lightning bolt. I don't really want to play this figure yet on my opponent Goblin tokens, so I'm going for Lambas, which is finally a target for the Dispute. And now let's check what I draw. in my opinion, we probably need the golden egg because we need another target for Deadly Dispute after landing the Fangor Marauder. So we put the golden egg on top, we play the land, pass, and let's hope the opponent doesn't have anything like Goblin Bashwooker, but the opponent deck is playing something like 4 copies of Goblin Goblin Bashwooker. So what do you have, opponent? 2 damage are fine. I sacrifice my Lambas with the Dispute to get some card draw. Another Mogwar Marshal. Yeah, we need a Corporate or a Drone Sorrow. Opponent is probably just waiting for a Goblin Bash Runner. Another Golden Egg and another Deadly Dispute. Alright. Cast down is useless at least, but anyway, we should go for Deadly Dispute, trying to find a land at least, or... okay. We can wait. We can wait, play Deadly Dispute on the treasure token, unless they force us to play Cast Down and Disfigure to prevent some damage. If they have Kuldota, that would be really troublesome at least. That's a dead Nether experimental synthesizer, and they have found Goblin's Letter. Okay, Goblin's Letter is annoying, but we can deal with it with Fangor Marauder. I mean, we play the Fangor Marauder and play Disfigure and Goblin's Letter. I still go for Desert Dispute, trying to find something like an untapped land. Okay, here we go. We go for Fangor Marauder, hoping they don't have something like a Bushwalker. They can sacrifice double Mug or Marshal, but anyway, I still think that it is worth to kill the Goblin's Ladder, because we are forcing them to... what are they doing? They skip it to combat. They probably yielded to match. Okay, so we can take for damage to go down to 13. I guess so, unless they have a Flame Slash. It's always better here to Chumblock. Okay, there's a Corporate. Well, we go for the Lambas route. Lambas, get back 8 lives, and I have another Golden Egg. Okay, opponent considered. So, I guess Fangor Marauder is good enough when you have enough time to play it. And it's probably better Goblins compared to Kuldota, since it seems less faster. If they don't have a Goblin Bushwalker and the Blast Runner, and also they're probably not playing Monastery Sweet Spear, which is of course the best card you can play in a mono red deck. So at this point of the game was already over thanks to the Fangor Marauder. But without Fangor Marauder, of course, I should play the Corporates just to deal with my opponent's creatures, dealing 2 damage, sticked 1 damage plus another damage, just to be able to kill both my opponent token and Mogwar Marshal, because we deal first 1 damage with the Corporates, and the Mogwar Marshal died, and then the token enters the battlefield, while having the other activate the other when damage on the Corporates on the stack, so we can also kill the other token creatures. Pretty easy, I guess. Alright. Second match against MichaelArmando. The opponent is starting first and we are forced to take a mulligan. I guess we should keep it just because we have Deadly Dispute and Cast Down. and the no land. I mean, the starting end is not great, but is still probably better than going down to 5. So we get rid of a swamp, which is probably the worst land we can play. The opponent is playing probably Turbo Initiative, because I guess it's the only deck playing a remote farm in the format. If they have an initiative dude, we have a Gingerbread and a cast down. So, alright, you have a name sticker on turn 2 for mana. Mana Morphose. They're probably going for it. Maybe they sacrifice the name sticker Goblin to get some extra mana. I'm not sure how, some ritual or something similar. Yeah, name sticker on Magical Line decks like Turbo Initiative is of course worse compared to the paper version, because you don't know how much mana you get with your Goblin. And yeah, they weren't able to get enough mana, and they are forced to pass. So we go for Gatekeeper Vine, get the Basilisk Gate, and next turn you can decide on what we want to do. Basilisk Gate, yes, and let's see what the opponent is gonna do now. I'm not blocking the name sticker Goblin. Lightning Bolt on my Gatekeeper Vine, in my opinion, is not a good play, but I guess can be considered necessary, since their next turn they want to play their initiative, and they're gonna lose the remote farm, but they are also getting back one untapped land. Alright, so we should play Ichor Drinker and Golden Egg. I don't wanna play my Gingerbread. I don't wanna let my opponent kill my Gingerbread with whatever removal spell they may have in hand. So, Golden Egg, which costs 2 mana, and that's fine to me. And then Ichor Drinker. Alright, maybe I should play... No, okay. Golden Egg wasn't exactly the best play here, because if they played initiative, it would be much better to kill it straightforwardly, and not having the mana to kill their initiative this turn may be painful. But if they're attacking, maybe they don't have the initiative in hand, because we can easily kill their initiative and then still... Alright, no initiative, that's fine. Maybe they have a lightning bolt? No. But it is still fine to me to force them to kill my Drinker, because it is better to force my opponent to kill my Ichor Drinker instead of kill my Gingerbread, because Gingerbread can steal their initiative. And if they don't bolt my Ichor Drinker, they're getting too much damage. Cast into the fire. Okay. Weird. I wasn't expecting got lightning bolt to cast into the fire, but I guess that is fine. Alright, so they're cycling their Metamorphose, and what I found... Trailblazer Torch, which is the worst initiative, which is good, because if they attack us, we can attack with Gingerbread and then kill their namesticker Goblin. There's not even any reason to play Basilisk Gate to pump the Gingerbread yet, I guess. I prefer to play Cast Down and the Dispute. Alright, we have the initiative. Okay, I have enough black mana to cast both Deadly Dispute and Cast Down, so I go for Basilisk Gate. Yep. Basilisk Gate is clearly fine here. Oh, wait. Probably I should cast my Ichor Drinker from the graveyard. Nah. It's probably still better to... No, it's probably still better to cast Down, because they can just equip their Trailblazer Torch on Namesticker Goblin. Another Namesticker Goblin? Okay, that's fine to me. Do you have another initiative in hand? If you have an initiative, it's still better to attack first with the Namesticker Goblin. Ooh, why are doing this play? Not sure why, but the opponent played... Ooh, Shout. Ah, okay, because they wanna put some ++ counter on the Namesticker Goblin. That's not a really good play in my opinion, but anyway, we are more or less forced to kill the Namesticker Goblin. Next turn we have 7 mana, so we can give Unblockable to the Gingerbread and then attack with the Guardian and the Gatekeeper. And play Gatekeeper Vine and Guardian of the Guild Pact. At this point, in my opinion, it is better to play first the Gatekeeper Vine, so we can put the 2 counters on Gatekeeper Vine, and while making it a 2/4 creature, will be the Gatekeeper Vine will be able to block whatever creature, and get Basilisk Gate, play the Basilisk Gate, give Unblockable to the Gingerbread, and steal their initiative, I hope. Unless they have found another removal spell, but seems like they didn't have any. Forge on my Gatekeeper Vine. Chunkiest plant ever. And we go for Guardian of the Guild Pact. Alright. So we can block the Goblin and the Goliath Paladin. They can trade their Namesticker Goblin with my Trailblazer Torch. But if they attack with both their creatures this way, I'm just blocking the Paladin with the plant and the Goblin with my Guardian of the Guild Pact. So, okay, you are dealing 2 damage to my Guardian of the Guild Pact. Ah, no. It is the Goblin dealing damage to my Guardian, so they can't do much about that. Oh. Alright. Crap. They killed my initiative 2, my Gingerbread, but they only have 13 lives, and I have another untapped land, untapped gate. So what can I do here? If I play another land, I have 6 lands, 6 gates. Yep, they're pretty much dead. So we go for Manor Gate, I guess. Well, maybe it's better to play the 4th copy of Basilisk Gate just because we can reanimate the Ichor Drinker. Anyway, we are still lethal, but they may have some sort of fog effect to prevent me to kill them, but didn't have any. Alright, so Tuner's Edict seems very strong against Turbo Initiative, and of course Corporates and Makeshift Munitions aren't good enough. So we bring in those Tuner's Edict and nothing else. The cool part about this deck is that basically Food Gate was first built to deal in a better way with Turbo Initiative's decks, because, you know, you have cards like Codron Familiar. Alright. Minor Gate. Black. We can still have some time to play the Black Dragon Gate, the name white for the Guardian of the Guild Pact. And I'm not sure why the opponent played the Lotus Petal on turn 1. Maybe they wanted to play around Duras. Oh, okay. They have nothing, apparently. So we go for Codron Familiar. Get back 1 life. Black Dragon Gate. Pass the turn. And now, if they play their initiative without having any removal spell or any goblin, we can just play Tuner's Edict and steal their initiative, which is pretty good. Lotus Pillow. They're going for it, apparently. Name Sticker Goblin. 5 mana. Ooh. Oh no. Manamorphose. Avenging Guarantor. And they also have 1 untapped mana. Okay. That's brutal. Untapped land will be awesome. Gingerbread, yeah. Okay. If they have a lightning bolt, I can't play around the lightning bolt if I want to steal their initiative. So just go for Gingerbread, get the swamp, and in my opinion it is better to play the swamp and pass, because we can disfigure their name Sticker Goblin and then play Tuner's Edict. In my opinion, there's no reason to chain block my Codron Familiar. It is important to have enough creatures on the battlefield to deal with their removal spells like Tuner's Edict, or just to pass over the chain blockers if they have any, of course. Okay. So what should we do right now? Probably go for Lost Well, unless they have... Okay, that's good. We can go for Guardian of the Guild Pact eventually. And we attack with everything. Hoping they don't have any casting to the fire or breath weapon. Wizard still their initiative. My opinion, we should go for Forge. And we forge the Gingerbread. Okay. So Tuner's Edict. Followed up by Limbus. Oh, well, I can play Ragnor's Bargain. We can bargain the Codron Familiar, and then reanimate the Codron Familiar, sacrificing the Gingerbread. That's fine. Another Gingerbread. Wow. So they add 1 lightning bolt, but only 1 lightning bolt, a removal spell in hand. So we still have 1 creature on the battlefield, but at least we drained 1 life, and yeah, very easy. Well, Gingerbread is brutal against any initiative deck, and Turbo Initiative is of course even weaker compared to decks like Ponza, because Ponza is more or less an initiative deck, Turbo Initiative deck relying on Arbor Alpha and Utopias Pro, of course. Here we go, fellas. 3rd game, we're starting first. And what do we have here? Well, I guess that turn for Guardian of the Guild Pact is kind of fine, so we're gonna keep this. Well, of course, we are facing something like Mono Red. This starting end is not much great, but anyway, we have a Ginger Root, a Golden Egg, we just need Basilisk Gate, maybe. My opinion, we can say that Guardian of the Guild Pact in the current metagame is probably one of the best cards we can play against a large variety of decks. In example, Mono Blue, Terror, Dimir Terror, Bros, Kogate, etc. Okay, opponent is probably Kogate, no, no, not Kogate, Golgari Control, which is kind of a bad matchup, so we need to find a good spot to kill him with Guardian of the Guild Pact, Basilisk Gate, or eventually Gingerbread. So we can say that Gingerbread is kind of fine, but to steal the initiative and as a way to deal little damage when the opponent is not expecting that. Okay, so deploy Launch Admire, and in my opinion we should just pass and eventually generate a token with the Ip Gate, so we can then play Ragnaros Bargain or some on Golden Egg or eventually on the Treasure Token. Vujukabor. A good point about Golgari Gate in this matchup is that the Codron Familiar is very good to deal with their interactions, so it's probably better to land a Gingerbread only when the times comes. And we aren't really able to find any any relevant threat yet. Maybe we should still wait with the creatures in hand, hoping they land at Monarch or an initiative and don't have any Snap out in hand, so we can steal their initiative or Monarch. Another token. And we draw another Gingerbread, which is fine. Okay. I go for Swamp Pass, so I can play Ragnar's Bargain on my treasure token and also create another treasure token. There's initiative, sure, as expected. So now we can play your bargain, eventually generate a token, and then steal the initiative with the Gingerbread. Sadly enough, I haven't been able to find any removal spell, and maybe I should play around Snuff Out. So probably better to play first Gatekeeper Vine, then another Basilisk Gate. So I have an untapped land for this turn, and then go for double Gingerbread. Not sure if I should go only for one Gingerbread, hoping they don't have Snuff Out. Because the best scenario here is them not having Snuff Out, so I can steal the initiative with only one Gingerbread and then slam the Guardian of the Guild Pact. So I can more or less play around them having Corporates plus Junior's Edict. Yeah, seems better probably. So do you have a Snap Out, my friend? Yeah, seems like they have it. Okay, we go for another Gatekeeper Vine. And we pick another Basilisk Gate. I If I had to draw at least one cast down, probably the safer play was killing their Avenging Hunter and still and play double Ginger Brute. So right now we are not safe because they have the initiative. They went to the Forge and they're probably gonna play also something else bigger. Another initiative, just to say. Okay, now we need Kerberos. Kerberos seems very good against them, especially in this situation. Not very stonks. Without any formal life gain, we are pretty much dead. We only have a golden egg. Yeah, we are probably already very dead. Okay, so we can play first a Guardian of the Guild Pact, give Unblockable to the Ginger Brute, attack, and then try to win next turn. If that's the pile, or not there's enough out, the game is pretty much over. But if they don't have anything, we can pump the Guardian of the Guild Pact next turn. Spinning Darkness, wow. So they have 19 life. I can block 3 damage. So I'm not dead yet. I probably should also play the Eco Drinker. And how much mana I have next turn? Because I can block with the Eco Drinker just to get back 1 life. And then next turn I have 3 copies of Basilisk Gate. Yeah, I should also play with the Black Dragon Gate to have enough mana next turn to try to win the game. Okay. If the opponent has any Kerberos, I'm pretty much dead because they can just play the Kerberos. Brat for any kind of damage, at least 2 damage, and then swing for lethal. My only hope here is to play around Trainer's Edict and hope they don't have any Kerberos. I can block the Avenging Hunter, block the plant token. Take 7 damage, 8 damage, whatever. 4 damage. Okay. So do you have a Kerberos, my friend? Don't Kerberos me. Of course. Oh, wait. Do we have lethal here? Oh, ho, ho. Holy moly. Thanks, Seepagate, for the treasure token. Do we have lethal? Nice. We got this first game unexpectedly. Thanks, Guardian of the Guild Pact. Okay, so this figure is pretty bad. It doesn't do much. I guess we should just bring in those Trainer's Edict. I mean, those doesn't do much, but are better to deal with the chunky creatures. Not sure if I should bring in more than 2 copies of Trainer's Edict, since they also have the Colony Guardian, which is pretty annoying. Yeah, maybe just 2 copies of Edict or the 2 copies of this figure would be fine enough. Alright, so this starting end is pretty sick. We missed all the creatures, but oh no, well, we draw a Cauldron Familiar. Okay, so we go for Black Dragon Gate, name green. Since Guardian of the Guild Pact is more or less a late game play, because we need to play around their Tuner's Edict. And then we go for Lambas on turn 2, Golden Egg on turn 4. Now first we play Golden Egg, because Golden Egg just draw a card, and we don't need anything really specific right now. So we just draw one blind card, and then we play the Lambas and search for any kind of card that we may need. So the opponent went for Gentle Dispute, Chromatic Star. Okay, they missed Layered Land Drop, which is great. Oh, Makeshift Munitions, nice. If I play the Lambas, no, I should play Cauldron Familiar, just because I don't wanna discard anything, and then I bounce back my Basilisk Gate, instead the top of the land, because I can still find any other tapped land to fix for white or red, so it's better to have an untapped land. And if they wanna kill my Cauldron Familiar, that is fine to me, because I can sacrifice the Golden Egg to Cauldron Familiar to bring it to keep the back. But there's not much any reason to kill my Cauldron Familiar right now. So we go for 1 damage, 1 point of damage. And we found the Black Dragon Gate. Okay. Yeah. So we attack with the Cauldron Familiar. Then we play the Black Dragon Gate for red. And we pass the turn. So by doing that, next turn we can go for Deadly Dispute on the Cauldron Familiar, sacrifice the Golden Egg, bring back the kitty, and eventually we can double kill my opponent creatures with stuff like Makeshift Munitions, killing their plant token, or killing their bigger chunkier creature like okay, Herbarath, not a problem. That is pretty fine to go for Deadly Dispute on my kitty, I think. Should I crack my Golden Egg? I guess, yes, I should crack it. Alrighto. I think I should sacrifice the treasure token, so... I play munitions, kill the corporates, kill the treasure token, and in my opinion is kind of fine to play Lambas instead of Git Vine. They're blocking this damage. Yeah, because I have munition on the battlefield. Okay, we play Lambas. We have enough answers to their Monarch. If they have one, Dispute is fine. Card advantage right now is good because we can dig for more lands or answers if they find their Monarch or whatever, and then next turn we play Gage Vine to get another copy of Basilisk Gate, or even better, Hip Gate. So we go for Hip Gate to generate extra tokens for the makeshift munitions eventually. There's no reason to play to activate the Basilisk Gate on my Cauldron Familiar, because the opponent is playing a deck filled with removal spells, so it is better to not force the removal spells on my kitty unless it is necessary. I'm not sure if it is a good idea to go for to play the Guardian of the Guild Pact right now, but anyway, I can't play Guardian since I don't have white mana yet. So Hip Gate seems much better since we have the makeshift munitions on the battlefield. Yeah, it's pretty safe to play the Hip Gate over the Black Dragon Gate because we are generating an extra token eventually. Deadly Dispute as expected. If they have any removal spell on my Gatekeeper Vine, I can just sacrifice it with Deadly Dispute or Bargain. Is Makeshift Munitions seems good against the Golgari. They may have stuff like the Glimmer to destroy it, but in reality they aren't destroying it. Ooh. That is fine to me. I can sacrifice my kitty. Yay, kitty! Oh no. Bojuka bug. Oh, okay. They have another removal spell. Like, I can see that. I mean, there's no other reason to play Bojuka, the file into Bojuka bug here. Alright, alright. Should I play Bargain? Probably. Alright, next turn we go for Guardian of the Guild Pact, then double Gatekeeper Vine, and eventually another Eco Drinker. Okay, so Gatekeeper Vine. We fetch another Basilisk Gate. We play Eco Drinker. So we have enough creatures, hoping they don't have... It is maybe better to play the Basilisk Gate over the Black Dragon Gate, since I can filter the mana. No, I can't filter the mana, because I'm still sacrificing the treasure token. So we can sacrifice the token and play the Black Dragon Gate, naming white, so we don't discard anything, and they need 4 removal spells just to deal with my Guardian of the Guild Pact, or eventually a Corporat plus a Chinier's Edict. But if they have a Corporat then plus Chinier's Edict, would be kind of fine, because unless they have another Bojuka Bog, I can exhume my Eco Drinker. Alright, another Bog. Alright, you had it. Lambas, we need a Cauldron Familiar, I guess, or a Corporat. Even Gingerbread is fine. We can pump it with Basilisk Gate. I wasn't expecting Gingerbread on the top deck, so that's the reason why I tapped the Basilisk Gate. Anyway, if I play Gingerbread, I can't really deal much damage or play enough creatures. So I also think that it's fine to play Guardian plus Eco Drinker and then just play a Manor Gate or Black. The cool part about this game is that we have makeshift munitions, so even if they kill my stuff, I can just generate a bunch of tokens and fling my permanents with makeshift munitions. So they need an untapped land to cast the spell and Junior's Edict just to deal with my Guardian. Okay, I'm gonna sacrifice the Eco Drinker. That's fine. You can't really snuff out a black creature. No. And we are lethal because we have double Basilisk Gate. Sweet. 2-0 against Golgari. I wasn't expecting this result, but apparently the card advantage and the resiliency generated by cards like Codron Familiar can generate a lot of advantage because, you know, all my foods replace themselves. So when you are able to land a Codron Familiar with double or at least one single copy of the Golden Egg or Lambas, you are forcing your opponent to have double removal spell or double removal spell, especially if they have a Pujukabo or a Nihil spell in that. So it is kind of a huge advantage over them. Also, Gatekeeper Vine providing both a sack fooder to Chinor's Edict and a copy of Basilisk Gate is really huge. Alright. This one is the fourth match, and we are having a really great run till now. Let's see what the next match could be, and I guess we start first, and we also keep this starting end. Even though we don't really have many lands, and we have a Gingerbread, which is really great right now. But we can play first turn 1, Basilisk Gate Gingerbread, which is really cool as a start as a turn 1 play, because you know, Gingerbread and Basilisk Gate are a great pair. And we are probably facing a oh no. What a meme. Huge meme. Okay, probably should play Golden Egg first. I need a bunch of stuff. I can jump block their Gingerbread with my Gingerbread, so unless they have glitter, I can block their Gingerbread, and I can also prevent them from ninjutsuing their Gingerbread with Moonseeker Attacker. So let's see what they have, because they can't kill blockable to their Gingerbread, because my Gingerbread as well as aced. And that's the reason why in this kind of matchup Gingerbread seems a little bit weak, because you know, it isn't really unblockable. You can't just block it with creatures with haste, and they missed their second land drop. They probably have something like Moonseeker Attacker in hand, and you are also missing our third land drop. So we draw all the copies of Gingerbread, all the copies of Corporates, but we missed the land drop, and of course going for Dispute or Lambas right now was pretty much the same, because Dispute draw 2 cards, and Lambas go for a Scry 1 and then draw a card, so it is better. They have the Gingerbread, they have the glitter. In my opinion, it is not really good to block here, because if we draw on the land, we can block and then sacrifice the Gingerbread. Yeah, there's the Marrow Gate. That's great. So I need to find some lands, and tap the lands maybe, or a cast down to kill their Gingerbread. I probably should put this land on the bottom, because it's tapped, and I need removal spells, because a 6/6 creature is truly troublesome. Okay, so just wait for the opponent to have an answer to my removal spell. We missed only one land drop, but I was forced to put another land on the bottom, because I only have 4 answers to Gingerbread, basically. So 4 copies of Cast Down, because Traveling Spectre doesn't do much if my opponent equip it with all the glitter, because I can just play the Guardian of the Guild Pact to block it. Another Gingerbread. Probably I shouldn't block here. What? Somber Overguard? That's a lot of damage. Yeah, I probably should just wait and draw a cast down. There's no cast down. there's no cast down. I don't think I have the time to play Maear Crossbar again. This figure. Okay. So I play a land, pass. I can also play this figure or my opponent's Somber Overguard and jam block my probably I should not pass, but instead I really play this figure on the Somber Overguard and then just jam block the Gingerbrute without gaining 2 lives, because you know sacrificing the Gingerbrute to get 3 lives is the same thing as killing the Somber Overguard, but maybe they have something like another copy of All That Glitter, and I can eventually also kill their another creature if they want to keep it with All That Glitter. They're attacking with everything. Okay, so we block the Gingerbrute, and since they don't have any mana left, we kill their Somber Overguard. If I draw a removal spell, I can jump block. If I don't draw a removal spell, I can jump block the Gingerbrute with my Gingerbrute. We then draw 2 cards, generate 1 treasure token. Okay, that's good. That's good. Alright, so here we need to kill their Gingerbrute. And also we need to play 1 Eco Drinker. Not so sure if I should also play 1 copy of Gingerbrute, but I guess I should do that to prevent them to have something too much bigger, or just to jump block their Gingerbrute, because if they have a Moon Circuit attacker in hand, and if I don't block, they are lethal. So we can play around Moon Circuit attacker. We can play around another copy of All That Glitter, because of course they did draw 2 copies of All That Glitters in 12 cards. And okay, so let's sideboard against them. Alright, so I said Guardian is not good. Gingerbrute as well is bad. Corporacy is good. Sadic is bad, so I'm not bringing in. Rowing Sorrow is also good. The Glimmer is kind of a removal spell. An instant speed removal spell to All That Glitter seems kind of fine. And we bring in also the Troublemaker Ufi. Then I think we should figure out if we want to bring in Fenrir Marauder. In my opinion, the card is probably too much slow, because the deck relies a lot of having a really fast start, so it's difficult for me to rely on Fenrir Marauder, and it is better to just have removal spells and mass removals. Probably I should say yes to this starting end, because we have an answer to All That Glitter, and we have double Lambas and double Deadly Dispute, so we can go to the longer game, and we have an answer to their fast early game start. So we hope they may have only 1 glitter in the starting in the first turns, and then we go try to find some lands with Dispute Lambas or whatever. The annoying part about the starting end is not having an untapped land. How many untapped land I play in this deck? I don't have many, I guess only 8 untapped land, so it is not really weird to not have any untapped land. Not having Codron Familiar anyway is kind of a weakness right now, because Codron Familiar with a lot of Lambas and Golden Egg and Deadly Dispute is really great to stop their starts because we have a free chump blocker, and I think a free chump blocker can give us a lot of time against starts like Double Mirror or Enforcer or Glitter on those smaller critters that aren't unblockable like Ornithopter or Gingerbrute. Yeah, because for the opponent, they need to keep their Gingerbrute. They can't really board out many of their creatures. Okay, there's a Gingerbrute, nothing new. And I draw another cast down, which is kind of fine. We can still name green here since I boarded out all my white and red cards. Tap it land and Frogmite. Okay, so we go for Lambus, another Frogmite. Alright. We need to find some Criprats and lands. Yeah, I need some lands because with the mana I can play the spells. There's a Basilisk Gate. I still go for Lambus. Okay. I wasn't expected to draw exactly Codron Familiar. Maybe I should play that, keeping in mind that I could draw a Codron Familiar now, but I was more expecting to draw something like a tapped land instead of Codron Familiar, so I favored the change to draw a land over Codron Familiar, just to say. Okay, they're attacking me for 5, which isn't much, but is still a reasonable amount of damage. And we draw another Deadly Dispute. I think that it is pretty safe to sacrifice the Codron Familiar to Deadly Dispute to find a land, and we also find a Corporate, which is good. Okay, opponent, don't play Glitter this turn, so I can play my Corporate and kill all your stuff next turn. Good, they're sacrificing a clue. And should I block with Codron Familiar? We can block their Gingerbrute. Well, probably I should block a Frogmite, but at least we are forcing them to activate the Gingerbrute ability. And anyway, next turn I'm gonna sacrifice. I'm gonna destroy all my opponent's stuff with Criprot, so it is fine to me to get back 1 life at this point of the game. Yeah. We play the Criprot and sacrifice and deal 2 damage to everything. Goodbye, opponent creatures. Yeah. That was a good Criprot. Criprot is much better compared to Suffocating Fumes in this situation, at least. We draw another Basilisk Gate. Okay, so Lambas. This figure is fine because there's another removal spell, and I go for Manor Gate. Choosing black. Alright, at this point, probably I should play Deadly Dispute on the treasure token instead of Lambas or Codron Familiar. Just because I have double Basilisk Gate, so it is fine to me to... Oh well, if they wanna play Metallic Rebuke on a treasure token, that is fine to me. And we draw another Golden Egg. So we reanimate the Codron Familiar, deal 1 damage. Troublemaker Ophi is not necessary right now. And we go for double Basilisk Gate since we have the opportunity to do that. And we are pretty much lethal in 2 turns. But wait, should I keep the mana untapped to deal more damage next turn, because I wanna play around the gingerbread plus all that glitter. So I'm dealing 6 damage right now, and next turn I'm still legal, and I have enough answers if they have any weird removal spells, which I'm not really expecting. Yeah, not removal spells. I mean, charm blockers. Yeah. Okay, so we can go for golden egg and still have enough mana to cast down, and this figure, so that is fine to me. They need double answers. Answer. I can also eventually sacrifice my Cauldron Familiar just to have a charm blocker, but no, well, they can charm block it. Alright, they weren't able to find any creature, and I got at the second game. Nice. Stonks. Corporates won the game, and I'm pretty much happy to have Drawing Sorrow in my sideboard over Suffocating Fumes, because Frogmite and Somber Overguard are much bigger compared to Gingerbread. Just we wait for having another good start, another good keep in game 3. Game 3. Game 3. Game freak. In my opinion, anyway, the matchup is pretty favorable for this kind of mid-range pile. We have Ichor Drinker as a way to get a bunch of life. We have Corporates and Drawing Sorrow, and we also have cards like Cast Down, the Glimmer, and even Troublemaker Ophi to deal with the glitters and artifact creatures like Mirror Enforcer. So it's just a matter of stalling the game, so preventing them to have too many creatures on the battlefield, and then steal the game with Basilisk Gate. Of course, we aren't the aggressive deck in this matchup, so we don't need evasive or too many evasive creatures like Gingerbread, or too many creatures like Guardian, Marauder, etc. Wait, this is a pretty reasonable end. We don't have any answer to glitter beside the Troublemaker Ophi, but since Troublemaker Ophi is an answer to glitter, and we have double Chain Blocker and Drawing Sorrow and 2 lands to land my Gage Creeper Vine, I can also eventually go for Hipgate, generate 1 treasure token, and then sacrifice the token to Troublemaker Ophi. So beside a food token, we have everything. So this starting end is more like move to 6, but we have Drawing Sorrow, and Drawing Sorrow is a game changer card. Okay, there's a Cauldron Familiar. Maybe we should go for Cauldron Familiar on turn 2 or turn 1. But they mull it down to 6, and they may have something like a Moon Circuit Hacker, so we can Cham Block, and we can go for Golgari Road Farm on turn 2, so we can Cham Block, or just land a farm just to have Drawing Sorrow on turn 3. But maybe they aren't playing any Moon Circuit Hacker, since they have Somber Overguard, and they haven't been playing any Moon Circuit Hacker or Moon Circuit Hacker for 2 games. Oh, well, that's not a problem. We have the Glimmer, so we can shuffle their Gingerbread in their hand. I think it's pretty safe to block the Gingerbread. Okay. I'm gonna blocking the Promite. No, we can keep the Control Familiar for now. So we shuffle the Gingerbrute and or kill the Gingerbrute. Now it is better to shuffle the Gingerbrute since they may play a Somber Overguard and we may have the need to kill the Gingerbrute or the Somber Overguard if it cast down. Okay, so now we wait. We can charm block next turn the Progmite since we have a cast down now in hand. But at least we are preventing them to deal more damage with Null Glitter on that Progmite, I hope. Okay, there's enough Forcer. One card in hand. It may be a Metallic Brook. The Glimmer. That's fine. It is probably worth to cast down here and then the Glimmer if they have an answer. And it is also probably better to do that in their upkeep, so we can play both the Glimmer and cast down if necessary, and we are forcing them to tap their land over their creatures to cast Metallic Rebuke. Okay, they have Metallic Rebuke. So if they tap Rebuke here, if they play Rebuke here, tapping their lands over the creatures is much better, because they are wasting their turn to cast one single spell, hoping they don't have anything else or a lot. And probably I should have played around Metallic Rebuke by playing first the Glimmer instead of cast down, because now they can also draw. They can still draw one Mirror Enforcer from their deck. Okay. So we go for Gatekeeper Vine, Ipgate, and next turn I can play Troublemaker Ophi or Join Sorrow. Alright. Gatekeeper Vine, providing the treasure token for Troublemaker Ophi, seems really sweet. Galvanic Blast, are you telling me you have the glitter? Jesus. Oh no, you're little. Oh well, opponent did draw better than me, because they drew exactly Galvanic Blast and all that glitters, and I wasn't playing around exactly those two cards. Maybe I should have played around those two and waited for Troublemaker Ophi, but you know, it is much more probable for them to draw any 1 mana or 2 mana creatures, so I guess they just got more lucky than me. Well, it happens sometimes. Alright, final match of this league. We're starting first again, and we have a pretty poor starting hand in my opinion, because we're doing nothing besides having a dish figure. So it is pretty safe to mulligan, and these 6 cards are much better. So in my opinion, they should get rid of on one tapped land, because we are still in search for one Basilisk Gate. So yep, we need any other land, but it is better to put one land that doesn't do much beside a gate, and try to find Gatekeeper Vine or whatever Basilisk Gate we may be able to find. Okay, that's probably Dimir Terror, so it is pretty safe to assume that we prefer to land first Golden Egg, Lambas, and whatever rock, trying to find the Basilisk Gate. Okay, Reckoners per game is good. So we go for Lambas. I mean, they probably don't wanna counter my Lambas. There's a cast down, and I think we want the cast down. Here we name Bite or my Guardian of the Guild Pact, and we pass the turn. The opponent is probably Dimir Terror. It may be Dimir Fairies, but since Dimir Fairies is something like the tier 3 deck right now, it is, I mean, no one play Dimir Fairies anymore. It is not much played. It is better. It is still better to just draw the cast down. Okay, okay. Okay, so since we have the Golgari Rot farm, instead of playing Eco Drinker or Gingerbrut, in my opinion, it is good. It is for the best to already generate a token and then land at the Golgari Rot farm, so we have more mana next turn to cast down or Reckoner's Bargain or even Drinker or Disfigure if necessary. Well, you may already be aware that Disfigure is very useless against Dimir Terror, but we can't really play around on them having we can't really do much about drawing all the copies of this figure in game 1. Okay, so I'm gonna play first Reckoner's Bargain because I think that they're not really willing to counter my Reckoner's Bargain because it's just a draw 2 cards when we are most interested on protecting your creatures and sacrificing your Tolarian Terror to counter one copy of Reckoner's Bargain. It is probably the worst play you can do, but you know, when you have all bad cards in hand, well, I can still draw one copy of Basilisk Gate. Oh, okay. So that counter spell didn't matter much because they had another three creatures in hand. Okay. Your turn, opponent. I can still play double Disfigure on your Gourmet Angler, I guess. Three mana. 2 mana. Deep Analysis. Okay. So it's an old Dimir Terror deck list with deep analysis and whatever. I think I should go for double Disfigure that Gourmet Angler. Let's see if they have a spell purse. They don't have it. They don't have it. It is probably not worth to play around the Unexpected Fangs, because if I draw a Basilisk Gate, it is necessary to have lifelink to not die, because, you know, this card doesn't die to snuff out, but I also need the... Well, I can still draw Basilisk Gate and I get back 3 lives with Golden Egg, so instead of jump blocking, it is better to get back 3 lives and create a token with my Hippogate. Yeah. Oh, well, I also gained back 1 life with my Eco Drinker, so it is not really necessary to already crack my golden egg. Brainstorm, mental note, brainstorm. So do you have another counter spell? The discarded spell appears on mental note, play the fourth copy of Tolarian Terror. We go for a treasure token. I'm kind of forced to crack the golden egg, I guess, because they have 3 copies of Tolarian Terror. Okay, so anyway, Basilisk Gate on the top deck. There's no Basilisk Gate on the top deck. There's no Basilisk Gate on the top deck, and that's pretty lame. You are playing Counterspell on my Equal Drinker. Okay. And I'm forced to double block. Oh wait, even if I double block, I get back only 1 life, so I'm very much dead. Okay. At least I have no cards in my sideboard. So we board out makeshift munitions and disfigure, and we bring in Trainer's Edict and heal Spellbomb. And of course we don't really need Gingerbread in this matchup. I mean, the Gingerbread is more like another food for Cauldron Familiar, so the good creatures are Familiar and Ichor Drinker, and of course Guardian of the Guild Pact, and then we have Cripprat as a Master and Wall. Probably it is also better to bring out all the Gingerbread and bring in 1 copy of Fangor Marauder, just because the Fangor Marauder is a late game card that can occasionally win the game, since we can get a bunch of life, and that is pretty good. Okay, in my opinion, the worst card here is the Nihil Spellbomb. Yeah, it's better to not draw the Nihil Spellbomb. No, we can put the golden egg on the bottom. It is more likely to draw another golden egg, or just sacrifice the Gatekeeper Vine with Deadly Dispute, so hoping the opponent doesn't counter my Gatekeeper Vine, we can easily dispute the Gatekeeper Vine. Of course, we name green here, so if we draw tapped land, an untapped land, we can play the Gatekeeper Vine. We draw another tapped land, so we go for the Black Dragon Gate, and then we wait for a counterspell on Gatekeeper Vine, basically. Lambas. Since I already have enough mana in hand, I think that forcing the opponent to counter my Creeper Vine with counterspell, it is better than getting the Lambas countered. Yep, as expected. Weirdly enough, or not weirdly, the opponents usually always counter the Gatekeeper Vine with their counterspell. I mean, probably they just fear the change to... Okay, there's a card of Familiar. Okay, so here the plan is play Cauldron Familiar, wait for the opponent to play some stuff in my end phase, and then Deadly Dispute the Cauldron Familiar. Since Deadly Dispute also generate 1 token, I can also sacrifice the treasure token just to... Okay. Can also sacrifice the token just to crack my Nihil Spellbomb. Wow. Okay, go Lambas. I'm pretty much trying to force my opponent to tap so I can land my Guardian of the Guild Pact. Okay, unless you have a cast down or suffocating fumes, I'm gonna go... Okay, you did it. But they have only 3 cards in hand, so... Can you understand that it is bad to crack Nihil Spellbomb right now, because I can reanimate my cat. And I think I'm not gonna crack in my Nihil Spellbomb just to exile my opponent graveyard. If they wanna play some stuff, I let them. Okay, why you didn't play the Penalysis? It is a good trade to exile your graveyard and a deep analysis. Wow, Eco Drinker. Okay. Let's force my opponent to counter Eco Drinker. They don't have any counter spell? They don't have any counter spell for real. Okay, so unless they have Agony Warp or Suffocating Fumes and Generous Edict, I landed a lot of good cards on the battlefield. So now I need to find another gate so I can pump my Eco Drinker. Torn of the Black Rose. I wasn't expecting the Monarch, but I guess people still like Monarch in Terror decks. Mystic is real annoying. Manor Gate is good. I don't wanna sacrifice my Codron Familiar to Deadly Dispute, but probably I'm forced to do that. I mean, I need to do something like, well, heal Spellbomb, not exactly. Alright, I'm attacking for 6. If they wanna block, they're gonna lose at last their Murmuring Mystic. There's no reason to already crack the Nihil Spellbomb. They can Generous Edict my Eco Drinker. Well, they can also charm block my Eco Drinker with their bird tokens. But if I draw another Basilisk Gate, I'm lethal. Since they already have a lot of charm blockers, well, it is good to crack the Nihil Spellbomb right now, so they can't play any other creature, so we get some time. And there's a Basilisk Gate. Okay, that was enough out on the graveyard. In the graveyard, they can't attack. They can attack with Iron Terror. So we block the Terror, get 1 damage, which it doesn't really matter, and then win with Guardian of the Guild Pact. It is probably worth to play first the Lambas. Yeah, because if they have a counter spell, they can counter my Lambas, and they are not playing. Generous Edict. Okay. Because I wanted to force them to play counter spell on Lambas instead of letting them kill my Guardian of the Guild Pact with Agony Warp. Alright, so this one is the last game of the last match, and Even though we only have one cast down, I think that is still a keep because we have enough lands, we have a Gatekeeper Vine that will dispute and eventually a Corporate to deal in the late game with my opponent's creatures. Okay, so we go for Honor Gate, naming in black. And then we'll go for Black Dragon Gate game 2 on round 2. Yes, because I don't wanna go discarding anything. And here we name white because we play the Guardian of the Guild Pact, and having as many black mana sources is irrelevant to the corporate's ability. So we wait for the opponent to do something. Later, I'll be playing Gatekeeper Vine. It'll be probably counter it with counter spell since they already did on game 2. They still kept the heal spellbomb as a way to interact with my Codron familiar. Alright. So let's check the counter spell. They have the counter spell. And we bring back the Manor Gate, because if I draw a land and I tap the land, I can play Guardian of the Guild Pact eventually. Seems like the opponent is going for something bigger. They play Brainstorm, Ventral Note, so they mill it out, snap out as no card, and pass. Okay. Another Gatekeeper Vine. Okay. Do we have another counter spell for it? Okay, they really truly fear the Basilisk Gate. Or they just try to... maybe they have a Trainer's Edict in hand and they want to destroy my Guardian with Trainer's Edict? I'm not sure. I mean, okay, Karma Gambler instead of Tolerant Terror is much better compared to what I could expect. I can kill it with Cast Down. Okay, Cast Down here. Double Spell Burst. Nope. That's Cover. Milling Literally with a Moving Mystic. Stonks. Alright, so here I think that is important to pass. They may have something like Spellpers, so it is better to force them to counter Cast Down at this point of the game. Okay, they draw Brainstorm with the last Tooth Cower. Now they'll be probably landing something like a Monarch or Moving Mystic or another Gurmagangler. There's a deep analysis. Why the military deep analysis over any other non-deep analysis spell? Do you have another Angler? So I can kill it with Cast Down? Nope. Okay. Do you have another counter spell for my Gatekeeper Vine? Alright, I'll go for Ipgate. Because I missed a lot of land drops and I can generate mana with the Ipgate. I'm not really forced here to go faster than my opponent since they're probably gonna play some bigger creatures, so it is better to land a Corporate and Brat for 5 instead of going bigger with the Guardian of the Guild Pact. They may also have a Snap Out to kill my Gatekeeper Vine, and something like a Trainer's Edict or a Onegoni Warp to kill my Guardian of the Guild Pact. I also think that it is safe to assume that they don't have a counter spell in hand, or maybe they have it drawn with the brainstorm. So sometimes I also have 20 life. I may go with with Guardian of the Kill pattern instead of Codron Familiar, but it is also safe to play Codron Familiar since they're not gonna counter it with counterspell if they have draw it, and they can't really remove it unless they have a unless they crack the heal spell bomb in response to the golden egg. So we can play the Codron Familiar, create another treasure token, and just wait. The opponent isn't putting any pressure on the battlefield. Is surprisingly enough, not surprising, generating treasure tokens against a deck relying on spell pierce in late game where they not put any pressure on the battlefield. It is very good. Double cast down. That seems fine to me. Maybe I can play Deadly Dispute on my treasure token. Yeah, I should play Deadly Dispute on my treasure token. So basically, I'm tapping 1 mana to... What are you doing, opponent? No, 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 no. No, no, no. No, no. Pretty bold play from you. Oh, unless you have the third copy of Counterspell in hand, and you have it. Wow. Okay, so what we have left in hand? If you have a Monarch, and you already used all your removals, all your counter spells, I think that you aren't in a good spot, because I can steal your monarchy, unless you have a 5th copy of counterspell, which is pretty unlikely. Alright. So cast down here. Sadly enough, I didn't draw my untapped land, so I can't kill another Tolarian Terror. Probably I should not play the Corporat. Maybe I should play the Reckoner's Bargain on the Golden Egg. Nah, I should play the Reckoner's Bargain on my treasure token, because I can also draw Heal Spellbomb or whatever. Basilisk Gate is kind of fine. I already have 2 green mana sources, so I'm naming white just to the slight change to I have to land a double Guardian of the Heal Pact in 1 single turn and taking 5 damage. And then I'm probably gonna cracking their board state with Corporats. Maybe not. Yeah, Corporats for 5. There's a Nicker Drinker. Okay. I don't have enough. No, wait, I have a golden egg. So I can destroy their board state with Corporats. But I'm also gonna lose all my creatures by doing that. So it is probably better to just kill their Tolarian Terror. Then I have a Nicker Drinker. So I kill the Tolarian Terror and crack the Nihil Spellbomb. Okay, that's fine. That is fine. Next, I can block the Tolarian Terror with the Cauldron Familiar. Let's see what we draw with Nihil Spellbomb. But probably it is better to block with the Gatekeeper Vine. Unless they have suffocating fumes, which is good against me, but maybe they don't have it. So I'm probably gonna just pass here. There's not much reason to attack. I can block with my Gatekeeper Vine. And then wait for them to not have a cast down. Block. Yeah, it is better to block with the Gatekeeper Vine because I can't attack with the Gatekeeper Vine. Another cast down. Nice. Minor Gate. I'm choosing black, of course. And I try to cast Basilisk Gate. Do you have a cast down? Suffocating Fumes? Annoying. Very annoying. Very, very annoying. Okay, we play cast down as well. Hoping they don't have Spell Pierce. If they have Spell Pierce, I can lose this game. Oh, another deep analysis. Alright. Ah, they can sacrifice their Nihil Spellbomb. They did not. They are not doing that. Okay. So Eco Drinker. And we pass. There's no reason to reanimate the Ecodron Familiar because they can crack the Nihil Spellbomb. So you need to draw another food, like a Lambas or a Golden Egg, and I did draw only one till now. Okay, go for your flashback. What have you found? Angler. Okay, I can play Cleopatra. They have only 9 cards in their deck. And I found an Ichor Drinker. Ichor Drinker. I'm not so sure about what is the best play here. Probably in this do not play the Cleopatra, and maybe I should just play the Ichor Drinker. So I have double creature on the battlefield because I also have the Incubator token. If I play the Cleopatra, they may have something like another Suffocating Fumes. They haven't played yet any Trainer's Edict, so whatever. Okay, you have another Nihil Spellbomb. I can't reanimate my Codron Familiar. I'm not even forced to block here because I can crack the Golden Egg if they have an unexpected things. So I can go down to 1 life. Alright, they probably have another cast down. If they have Trainer's Edict, I go for the Incubator token. And I sacrifice the Phyrexian token. Very annoying. Very, very annoying. I can still draw Guardian of the Guild Pact, but it may be not enough. Okay, so we let the opponent kill my Ichor Drinker. If they wanna crack already a Nihil Spellbomb, we force the second Spellbomb with Codron Familiar. stonks. I also have 3 copies of Tuner's Edict in my deck, and I haven't drawn one yet. X. Okay, so unless they have another suffocating fumes, it is the right choice to play Codron Familiar and the Corporates. So they can kill only one of my creatures with Tuner's Edict. And if they kill something, it is better probably to kill... well, anyway, if they have Tuner's Edict, I'm forced to block and to sacrifice. I can't even crack my corporates. Do you have the 3rd copy of Tuner's Edict? Cast down. Blah. Okay. Pretty much dead. Alright, so weird enough, I lost to probably the most favorable matchup. The 2 most favorable matchup faced because, you know, I draw something like out of my deck and never been able to find a Tuner's Edict was really a game changer. I mean, if they don't have a Murmuring Mystic or a Monarch, it's pretty... or if they don't have any Cryptic Serpent, they just have 8 big creatures, so it's really easy. They were lucky enough to mill 2 copies of Deep Analysis, and that was truly important for them, truly relevant. But beside of that, I don't think we did any relevant mistake. I mean, I draw only 1 Guardian. I draw only one Golden Egg. 0 copy of Tuner's Edict. That was really annoying. Anyway, the deck performed really well, so I think I'm happy with the result. I haven't thought I lost to Azorius Affinity and all the list of Dimir Terror. We got good draws in the previous matches. The deck, of course, is not here to be a tier 1 deck because, you know, you aren't doing the same stuff as decks like Mono Red Kulota, just to say. So for that, I think the result is good enough.